Alright, so here we have Bitcoin on Bybit on the 1 hour. Right now we are up 1.2% today. Let's see here, your moving averages. So, something I want to look at real quick is these moving averages are converging right now. So if they can all get above each other, like your 21, your 50, your 100, and then your 200, well, your 200's up here, but basically your 21, your 50, and your 100, and fan out, I think we will come up to our 24K mark and probably even higher. And that's just a short summary of what these moving averages could do. RSI tested the signal line and the neutral median line, resumption up. So the thing is we need to get this high to close above this range in order for us not to initiate bearish divergence. Looks like we could be doing it. We're having some trouble getting above the 200 right now. If we can close this 200 above this 200 in the next 13 minutes, that's going to look very good. MACD, fresh cross of the zero line, positive momentum is increasing. Your signal line is even starting to come up to that zero line as your BBWP is crossing its moving average. Alright, so the move is finally coming. We've been talking about it kind of consolidating sideways. You had your consolidation here in your little range, barred it down just like we talked about. Didn't quite get back down to this level, which is good. We didn't come down to the 22,700, which is kind of the line in the sand for me at this point. So we're looking pretty good right now. I'd like to see us close above this 200 though. We could do it in the next candle. It doesn't necessarily have to be in this candle, but we just don't want to make this a high and then come back down below these moving averages. So watch these moving averages right now. We can come down to them, still make a higher low. We are operating on higher highs, higher lows as of now. So let's move on to the 4 hour real quick, then we'll come back down and talk about bullish and bearish cases. So on your 4 hour, you did just cross that signal line and the neutral median line. We need to stay above 2375 in order to stay above that signal line. MACD converging across that zero line right now. Looks like you are getting the retest of the signal line. Going to try to cross that zero line. Positive momentum is starting to print a dark green bar. BBWP is very low, so your vol is contracting. BBWP measures volatility, by the way. So once you get back above that moving average, the medium term, or schmedium term, is going to increase its bullish momentum as well. So if you can increase that bullish momentum on the 1 hour, get up in that bullish control zone, that's going to spill over into the 4 hour. Let's check the 8 hour. RSI, neutral median zone, fresh cross of that zero line, retest of the neutral median line. RSI, by the way, is a momentum oscillator, judges bullish and bearish momentum. So, and then also your signal line signifies whenever you reverse the momentum. So right now we are bullish. Let's see, MACD. All right, came down to the zero line, but we have support on the zero line. You basically just been ranging with the MACD. So even if we do cross that zero line, get somewhat of a bigger pullback, I would expect us to bottom around these last lows. That's if though. If we cross the zero line, we're probably going to come down there. We need to stay above 22,915 in order to stay above that signal line. We need to stay above 2374 in order for us to continue rising. We need to get above 23,417 in order to cross that signal line to the upside. Once again, BBWP is very low, and your moving average is all the way down here. So when this thing reverses, it's going to reverse and it's going to bring some volatility hard. All right, there is a big move coming. I know we've been talking about this big move, but we've been consolidating sideways here for, a week. Yeah, a week. So it's finally coming. Once this BBWP reverses and gets above its moving average, we're going to have a major move. My guess is that we come up to 24 to 2,500. get some sort of big pullback, possibly even at this diagonal trend line right here at 25K. Some people will trade this. I'm not much of a pattern trader though, so I'm really not looking at this too much. The only reason I have these lines is because some people will trade this. So I would expect a major pullback from this red region. And I mean, I have my red region, so you can kind of guess what I'll be doing there. Not financial advice. Let's go back down to the 1 hour. All right, so your bullish case is that you close above this 200 and get back above this last high right here at 23,300. Basically right where we topped out. I'd like to see us close above that level, and then I do think we would work our way up to the bullish control zone. Probably get some sort of minor rejection from there, but ultimately I think we would end up in it. MACD, that would also imply that this signal line crosses the 0 line as well. We do have strong upside curvature right now on the MACD line. Your BBWP is crossing its moving average, like I said. By the way, your MACD is also a momentum oscillator, judges bullish and bearish momentum. Your BBWP is crossing its moving average, so here comes the move. You know, it's already starting. You know, so far, I mean, we've barely had a move. 1.35%. This thing is just starting. You know, when that BBWP reverses, I mean, even up to 24,500 is only like a 6% move, and I don't think it would stop there. If we can get up there, I do think we come up to the 25K mark. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. The bearish case is that we break this diagonal trend line, 22,800. I do think we would come back down to 22,500. If we break 22,500, I think we come all the way back down to 20K. And probably even farther. We do not want to break that purple zone. All right, so if we break that purple zone, it's down to the depths and we're fucked. So yeah, I mean, that's basically what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Let's move on to Ethereum. Now, Ethereum, somewhat of a similar story, except we have what looks like an ascending triangle. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty nice right there. And let's look at the measured move. Measured move would be right up to this next purple line. Basically 2889, 2100 we'll say. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I would expect some sort of pullback in this purple region I'm about to draw right now. Would expect some sort of pullback at the 1950 region, but ultimately I think we would work our way up to 2100. Right now your RSI, neutral median zone, bounced off that signal line, kind of front ran a little bit. MACD, fresh cross to the 0 line, positive momentum is increasing, signal line's working its way up. As your BBWP looks like it's going to be crossing its moving average. So same thing with ETH. Big moves are coming. Big moves are coming. Let's go to the daily real quick. I want to see something. So we are getting rejected from the bullish control zone, but it looks like we're making some sort of symmetrical triangle here. So the measured move of this would put us deep into the bullish control zone. Deep in it. So that would look very good right there. And let's see here. MACD. Trying to test that signal line. I don't think it's really going to cross it to the downside. We're trying to print some dark red bars, but this is just correction momentum right here. So, I mean, we could come all the way down to 1675 and still be in good shape, making a higher low. What am I doing here? There we go. Okay, so BBWP is, wow, working its way all the way down to the blue line, far below its moving average. So on the daily, I mean, we're basically just kind of consolidating sideways. basically hitting the last high, which that's where I'm saying that ascending triangle comes into play. Let's go back down to the 1 hour. Your moving averages are all above each other. So if these can start to fan out, that's when I think we start heading up to the 2K mark. Bullish case is that you break the top of this ascending triangle at the 1750 level. Next level I'd be looking at is 1900 and then 2000. So big moves ahead. Big moves ahead. Bearish case is that we break this diagonal trend line at 1650. I would expect us to come back down to 1580 region, back down to these lows right here, but ultimately I think we would break that and come all the way down to our red zone at 1350. And if we break 1350, 1K is the next level I'm looking at. But that would imply that Bitcoin breaks down hard, you know. So we'll find out. Let's move on to Solana. So Solana, we got a sideways range here. We got a sideways range. Basically, the 200 is going to be some trouble getting above. RSI is working its way up to the bullish control zone, above that signal line right now. MACD, fresh cross to the 0 line, same with your signal line. Positive momentum is increasing. BBWP is working its way up to its moving average. So as soon as we cross this 200, if we do at $41, I think we come up to the $42 mark, then up to around the 44 to 44.40 region. Pretty quickly too, if we can break this 200. That would also imply that we get into the bullish control zone on the RSI. MACD continue its upside curvature, maybe even printing some dark green bars up above this last high on the histogram. So I think that would look very good. Bearish case, pretty clear cut. I mean, you break the top of the range, which is at the 200. You know, you go to $44. Break the bottom of the range at $39.25. I think you come all the way back down to $34, $35. Yeah, $35. Pretty quickly too. I would expect a minor bounce at the 38.70 region, but I don't think it would hold. I think you would break these last lows and head down to the $35 region. That would also imply that we cross this RSI signal line to the downside and get rejected from the 0 line and cross the signal line to the downside, printing some dark red bars on that histogram. In both ways, I want to wait till it crosses this moving average. Right now, we are turning around. I think this range is about over. I think it's over now. I think we do break the 200, but we'll find out. A lot of this depends on what Bitcoin does. You know what I mean? Right now, 1 minute, and we are closing above the 200. So yeah, if we do close above that 200, we're going to look pretty good. We could come back down for a retest at this VPVR POC point of control at the 23,200 region. Possibly even get a wick down to 23,150 region. And still be in good shape. We'd make a higher low. We'd be retesting the diagonal trend line and then resumption up. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description below, one being the Discord. Everyone have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, and I will see you tomorrow.